Wonderful. Joining us now, Ron Villanueva. Now, Ron represents the 21st House District of Virginia. That's a couple of precincts in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, and all-around great guy. And he's got a wonderful family. He's a lifelong resident of Virginia Beach and a product of the Virginia Beach public school system, a graduate of Green Run High School. Ron comes from a military family where both his mom and his dad served in the U.S. Navy, and Ron served in the United States Coast Guard Reserves. And he is married, and I think, if memory serves me correct, he's got 4 children. If there's something I missed, I think he's got 4 right now. He's also the chairman of the Republican Supermajority Transportation Committee. Chairman, let's call him by his proper name, right? Chairman Ron Villanueva. Welcome to the John Fredericks Show, Ron.
Well, if you call me chairman, then I'm commander. You're commander, John. I appreciate everything you've been doing on the radio and, more importantly, in the community, and we appreciate you. And more importantly, it's exciting to hear you be excited about all the progress that's happening in Virginia on the roads, rail, transportation, air, you name it. Virginia's moving forward.
Let me just tell you something. It is moving forward, and, it takes a while to get this stuff done, but we're seeing the fruits of it. And, I took a lot of flack over the 2013 Great Transportation Compromise, where I was a champion for that. Everybody called me Rhino, tax raiser, all this nonsense. Here's the bottom line. You got to have roads, okay? You got to be able to go from point A to point B. You got to have tunnels. You got to have roads. You got to have bridges. You got to be able to transport. That's how you have commerce. And so, yeah, we got the money. We passed the bill. That's good. But now you're seeing it. Roads are getting widened. Bridges are getting reconstructed. The money's flowing to different regions. We're getting rail, right? We're getting the new service to Roanoke. We also are looking to extend the Richmond to Roanoke Amtrak line. So good things are happening. What's on the agenda, Chairman Villanueva, looking ahead to the 2017 General Assembly?
John, I'm glad you brought up the 2013 compromise. Without it, we wouldn't have investments in all these new projects. And as you know, what's remind the viewers, we've had decades of inactivity before that. We reached down deep into the transportation toolbox to figure out how to pay these roads. We did pay-go. We did audits. We did cutting of services. You name it. It just didn't get us there. And each region, when you go to each region, and I've been able to travel across the state in my tenure as chairman now for 4 years, every region has significant transportation needs. And after 30 years, we have our first fully constrained budget to put these roads projects forward. What you're going to see coming up in the 2017 session is more refinement and efficiency on how we use these dollars. For instance, the way we pick these projects are prioritized. There's a magic formula of sorts that deals with congestion and economic development and safety. We're refining those because what we're finding out is more bridges and tunnels are needed, particularly here in Hampton Roads. Our road network is like any other, because in order to get to Hampton Roads, you need to cross water, and that's what we're finding out. Recently you saw our Hampton Roads Accountability Commission vote for the expansion of the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, and that's very important, not particularly for our port, but for our citizens, and more importantly, our military, and that's all important. Now, my job as chairman is to make sure all the trains and the cars and the planes run on time, and everybody has a ticket, right? So you're going to see more technology initiatives. You're going to see more accountability initiatives. 3 years ago, we dealt with the Uber Lyft, the new disruptor economy, the share economy. You're going to see us refine that a little bit. You're going to see us venture into some new technology with autonomous. That's you got to keep your eyes out for that. Here in Hampton Roads, as you know, we have the Norfolk International Airport. We're hoping to help support that a little bit better with more representation on their board, possibly expansion of that airport and the ports, significant investment. John, if you haven't had a chance to visit the ports and take a tour and see what they do, I'll gladly arrange that for you, because you're going to see a machine in action, and that machine helps to feed the entire Commonwealth with regards to supply and distribution of goods and services.
Look, there's no question. I don't want to relitigate this. This is another thing. People still trying to go back and argue the 2013 transportation plan, that, tax increase plan, because you got to pay for this stuff. And so I have no interest in relitigating that. But I had Admiral Halsey on my show in 2013 as that thing was going through, and he said, look, you guys in Virginia, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't build roads and I can't transport my troops, I can't recommend any more carriers going to Norfolk. I got to put them in Jacksonville. I'm not involved in politics. You guys do whatever you want, but I need a road, right? I mean, it's simple math. So now we're seeing it. I got a question here from George in Newport News, who says, ask Delegate Villanueva, are we going to extend the Washington, D.C. Metro to the new MGM Casino in National Harbor?
Well, that's one of those issues that that's creeping up this session, John. Virginia is part of this whole metro system with Maryland and Washington, D.C., and it was built upon federal bureaucracy.
Right.
And for years, you've seen inattention to the metro, and it's fallen apart. Now we're suffering, because commuters need more. They need more routes. They need more accessibilities to those routes, and those things cost dollars. And we're all scratching our heads, going, where's Washington in all this? Where's Maryland in all this? Because Virginia has stepped up to the plate. We've seen significant safety issues on that, and one of the issues that's creeping up here in this session is, for us to improve the safety and quality of the metro. They've got a new director there. The director, I think, used to run the Baltimore lines, and he's cleaned house over there. He's got rid of all the inefficiency policies they have over there. He's put people that actually manage for efficiency versus complacency, and we're holding those guys to the fire. But your question that will Metro expand to MGM? Well, that's the question up for Maryland, because I know in Virginia the lines need to expand in Virginia.
Yeah, they ended the state line. I guess what George was saying too is, when are we going to get a casino in Virginia? We talked about this yesterday at the roundtable. About $900 million annually flowing out of Virginia, going into Maryland, Delaware, and other states. West Virginia with their casino. You go into the parking lots. People like me that go to these various racetracks, half the cars in there are Virginia. But are we ever going to get a serious debate on getting a casino in Virginia, or just going to let the money keep flowing out of state? Well,
I heard, I'm a long-time listener to your show, John. I heard that yesterday. I was actually in Richmond yesterday with the leadership, and Todd Gilbert, the chairman of General Laws, was next to me, and we go, it would be nice. Just getting there, it's a problem.
Yeah.
The General Assembly is represented by 140 folks.
Right.
And a lot of those guys are against gambling.
Yeah.
I know last year, myself and Jackson Miller, we supported the fantasy football bill.
Right.
Allowed those companies that come in. I mean, there just needs to be some moderation, but it would be nice. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I heard the arguments yesterday, the Homestead versus the Greenbrier and MGM. We have Virginia assets.
Yeah.
And sometimes we got to support those things. So I know I'm not carrying that bill. I asked Glenn yesterday. I saw him at a wake service. I go, Glenn, I heard you're carrying this bill. He goes, no, I'm pushing it for it on my stump speech, but I don't think it's going to get anywhere.
No, well, the reality of it is, this is maybe 2 years ago when I was fighting to save, I think, Colonial Downs, because much to my chagrin now, I can't go to my racetrack, so I got to go out of state. So that terrible thing. But I asked Speaker Howell, I said, what about bringing a casino? You got Colonial Downs there. You put casino gambling in, boom, everybody's happy, and, maybe get it in Virginia Beach. And he said, John, you'll have casino gambling in Virginia over my dead, cold body. I took that as a no.
one of the words that you said yesterday was evolution. You see folks changing their views on issues, like, for instance, Tommy Norman on decriminalization of marijuana. Our party, more tolerance towards diversity. I think it's possible. It's possible in the future, but I don't think it's going to happen in the 2017 session.
No, not going to happen. But look, we need to have the dialogue go forward in the future. But one thing you guys should have a dialogue about is figuring out a way to bring racehorse pari-mutuel gambling back to Virginia, which that's already passed. We've already done that. Now we just need somebody to come in and put it in a track, and we need to give them the tax incentives to do that because it creates thousands and thousands of jobs. And, one of the problems with Colonial Downs was the location. New Kent County, bad idea. Sorry, Chris Peace, just a bad idea. No hotels, too far for everybody. They tried to make it accessible to everybody. It became accessible to nobody. But if you put that thing in Northern Virginia, or you put it in Richmond, or you put it in Virginia Beach, I think it would thrive. But you've already passed it. So now somebody just needs to carry a bill of incentives to get Churchill Downs or somebody to come in and open up one.
John, you're bringing up some great history. I mean, I, for one, would not have voted for Colonial Downs. I would have rather had it in Hampton Roads. And when you look at the history, when you're dealing with these big projects that you're hoping that you're going to build industry from, it's all about location. Mm-hmm. And that's a terrible location.
Horrible.
And just like you, I'm a fan, pari-mutuel betting, and it's fun. It brings jobs. But we here in Virginia, one of the things we're focusing on here in the session and moving forward is just job diversification, bringing those jobs, not necessarily bringing new industries, but supporting the existing industries that are here in play. And this is one of the great differentiators of the McDonald administration and this current administration. This current administration, they're what we call goal line carriers. They'll cut the revenue, won't do the spade work to invest in and help expand some of these existing businesses. And I say that, because being a business owner myself, I've seen the disconnect with some of these economic development programs. And, going back to what you're saying with horse racing and pari-mutuel betting, we should have never let that go. But, now that we have limited resources and where to invest and tax incentivize, we need to put those into the industries that, we know will create jobs. For instance, cybersecurity, bioscience, manufacturing. And when you go to those industries, they talk about significant job openings, and we're scratching our heads going, where can we get all the people? And, let's put people to work, and advertise these positions. Heavy construction industry, they report to me all the time because I'm chairman, right? I hear about, hey, Ron, we need help. We need to hire these folks, and these are good paying jobs. And someone's got to do the jobs. I mean, if these roads are going to be built, we're going to need people to build these roads. We're
with House Chairman of Transportation in Virginia, Ron Villanueva. He represents the 21st House District in Virginia. That's precincts in Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, and General Assembly starting in, a couple weeks, 2017. Is this the short session, or this is the longer one, right?
This is a short session.
Short session.
It's General Assembly is always at an accelerated pace, 45 days, even more accelerated.
So the odd or the short session, even though the long, and the difference is 45 or 60 days, right?
Right.
Just get that straight. Okay, transportation. Talk to me about rail. We've had a lot of expansion with rail in Virginia over the last, 6-8 years, basically. Service Norfolk to Washington, service Washington to Roanoke. When you get the line Richmond to Roanoke, what's up with that? Do you have any idea?
We've, that's again, a beast that was created by the federal government. When you look at our transportation network, the grand scheme of things is connecting Boston to New York, New York to Philly, Philly to Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C. to Richmond, Richmond to Hampton Roads, and through Roanoke down to Raleigh, down to Atlanta, and down to Jacksonville. So that's the grand vision of rail. Our problem in Virginia is our rail lines are also used by cargo and coal carriers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to put high-speed passenger rail on these lines. So that's what we've been dealing with. We've been inching forward and moving towards that direction. It's going to take significant investment again. But what we're trying to do is be creative on how we find that money and position it and move forward. For instance, using some of these rail lines for some new carriers. You see Norfolk Southern and CSX Railway negotiate with some folks to use those lines. But, John, the future's here. I mean, you can catch now Amtrak from Washington, D.C. to Norfolk, which is great, and they're putting on an additional route as well.
Right. Look, we're making progress. There's no doubt. We're excited that you're the chairman of the Transportation Committee. I mean, it's one of the top issues in Virginia is roads, and now we're seeing some of it start to happen. Final question. Remember the Bob McDonnell 460 expansion debacle, $200 million down the drain. What are we doing with that?
Well, that's one of the blips on his administration, that's for sure. I mean, each administration has, something that you scratch your head and go, what were we thinking? The vision of the 460 corridor was, again, an alternative hurricane evacuation route out of Hampton Roads. Secondary portion of that was economic development expansion, for that area. And that's Hampton Roads, and that's where you see the future going out west. You got to scratch your head and figure out why they negotiated a deal like that. Not only that, but also the bridge tunnels down in Midtown and Norfolk. But we put accountability standards back. Never again will you see a project ever voted like that again. I carried a bill last year that described that. Chris Jones puts it in his budget language. So there's much more accountability. The 460 money was used by Secretary Lane and Governor McAuliffe this year to help pay down the tolls for Midtown and support Northern Virginia projects. So you saw a reshuffling of that money go forward. But I don't think you'll see a mass project for 460 in the future. You'll see more like road safety corridor improvement projects, but you won't see an alternative route up that way. We know one of the things we're doing is working with North Carolina more. You've seen a lot of growth and investment on their side to connect Virginia to our corridor. So that's where we're putting a lot of our engineering and design emphasis as well.
All right, we're out of time. I want to thank House of Delegates member Ron Villanueva. He is also the chairman of the powerful House Transportation Committee, and he represents House District 21, which is parts of Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, and he's got quite the agenda coming up. But look, here's the good news. We got expansion going on. We got barrels. We got shovels. We got cranes. We got bridges. 64 is getting bigger. Hampton Roads Tunnel is going to get expanded. I live in Chesapeake. They just finished the Dominion Bridge. That's eased traffic. I love roads, man. Never met a road or a pipeline I didn't fall in love with. Ron, thanks for being with us. Merry Christmas to you and your family. We'll have you back on real soon.
Merry Christmas. Much love to all the viewers. Hey, we got a special election first week in January. Everybody get out and vote for Rocky Holcomb.
Well, he has no does he have any opposition?
Yeah, the Democratic opposition. Democrats are lining up all these Bernie Sanders type folks to run against a lot of us.
All right, we'll have to get him on our show. I'll reach out to him today. More information, ronv21.com. That's all you have to do. I'll be right back.